Most jobs in Alaska start by getting in a Cessna, getting in a Piper, flying somewhere off the beaten path. That's what brought me to Skwentna about 10, 15 years ago. There was a story where these kids had stolen a bunch of money from their grandmother, but that started a multinational crime spree that went all over and landed at the end in Skwentna, Alaska. People come from all over the world to go fishing in Alaska, and it's an absolutely beautiful retreat. So this trooper, Terrence Shanagan, we used to call him Shenanigans because he always found himself in all these crazy adventures. He flies out to Skwentna and he lands short of the town. I think this is the town here. You can see a couple of cabins there. Gets a canoe from one of the residents that lives out there, paddles that canoe to find where these kids are, and then he convinces them that he's not just one trooper, but he's an entire army of troopers that have them surrounded, and convinces them to surrender to him. So anyway, myself and a producer got flown out to cover this story as a documentary, and we spent a couple of days getting some B-roll, getting some interviews and that sort of thing, and then he flew us back. I was sitting in the right seat, and he looks at me and he says, "Hey, you want to fly it?" And the only answer when somebody asks you, "Hey, you want to fly it?" you say yes. I said yes as fast as I could, and not knowing at the time how terrified my producer was of small planes in general, let alone a small plane being flown by an amateur. He says, "Okay, I want you to keep it between 800 and 1,000 feet and follow this river all the way back." And I swear that was the totality of my instruction that day. And I flew for the next 25, 30 minutes just following this exact river all the way back to Anchorage. As I'm flying, my producer is in the seat directly behind the pilot, and she's taking some pictures. I didn't really notice. I was too enthralled with flying a plane. And remember, she's terrified of small airplanes. But at one point she says, "Turn to the left." Now what she meant was turn your head to the left so I can get a picture of your face as you're flying. What I heard was turn the plane to the left. So I pulled to the left on the yoke and I pulled up and we started to turn. And that was a thrill. Wasn't my intention to freak her out, but I guess I did. I tell that story to lead up to this. A decision has been made that I'm going to go out and get my pilot's license. You know, I've been enthralled with aviation my entire